If you love a great animal rescue story, you're in for a really good treat today, and you're in the right place. Each week, here on America's Best Tales, we tell you 3 incredible stories, not just 1, 3, and then we decide, the Oracle decides on the best week's story. And each of our contestants
actually do what, Arthur?
They win money.
All of them do, for their favorite animal rescue organization. So without any further delay, America's Best Tales starts now.
Welcome to America's Best Tales. I'm here with Arthur Benjamin and Farrah White. And my name's Bandit.
His name is Bandit, the Oracle. And for the past 10 weeks, we've been introducing you to some great animal rescue stories. Some stories on how people have saved animals, and some on how animals have saved people.
We'll get into our 3 contestants today in just a minute. But we're only a few days away from a benefit in New York City that will help lots of people recover from Hurricane Sandy, but more than that, lots of dogs around the country, not only from Hurricane Sandy and other national disasters. It's To the Rescue Gala, which is hosted by the American Dog Rescue and myself and the Humane Society of the United States. It's on Tuesday, December 18th at Cipriani's Restaurant in New York. We hear Mayor Bloomberg will be there. We hear his family, Georgiana, his daughter, and Amanda Hurst are very involved. It's a great place. You could actually go to their website, hsus.org, buy tickets and join me there. Or you can go to AmericanDogRescue.org and donate money, and I will see that your dollar is matched by dollar for dollar, every dollar that night.
Well, and what I heard, Arthur, is that even if someone donates $1 today, anytime between now and December 18th, that American Dog Rescue and yourself will match that dollar. Is that true?
We are putting in money along with the money that is going in.
Perfect.
So that'll create a match that then will be matched dollar for dollar by somebody else. So
awesome.
When I say it's $2, by the time we're finished, it could be $3.
But you could donate today. You don't have to wait till December 18th. It'll be a great event.
And please do. Bandit says he tried to go on, but you see these paws?
Yeah,
keyboards are incredible. But you're not limited, so
no,
please.
So you need to go to AmericanDogRescue.org for all the details. And now, on to today's show.
Off. Today's first contestant is another story of how a dog saved a family. The Tracy family was facing hard times with their son Darren's drug addiction, and they were desperate to help him. And one program they looked into used dog therapy.
And that is how Maggie Pie was first introduced to the Tracy family, and now Maggie is a true member of the family. Connie and Darren with the Kaufman Animal Awareness Program are here to tell us about Maggie's story. But actually, I want to hear more. I want to hear how all of this began. So Darren, so you had some things going on.
I did. I had some drug issues that I was dealing with, and I had some anger issues that I was dealing with, and my parents talked me into going to treatment for it. And on the first day, I received Maggie Pie, and 114 days later, and a lot of training and a lot of quality time together, we got really, really close. It was really special.
That was actually part of the initial treatment.
Yes,
so
it was.
Therapy.
Basically, it helped you focus on something else, not just yourself. You know, having an animal that you need to constantly take care of, and then for them to constantly be there, it was very, very, very healing for me personally. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, would you recommend it?
I would definitely recommend it. I mean, I can't imagine anything else that would help you more.
You know, that's the core of what we're also doing with the soldiers coming back from Iraq and Afghanistan.
Yes, it is.
Post-traumatic stress, and it's a similar kind of program, but the dog becomes core to the training, to the rehabilitation program.
Yeah, I mean, it really does. It's a very soothing feeling when you're around an animal, especially one that you grow attached to, which you definitely do once you have them. I had her at 8 weeks. And
oh, wow.
Yeah, she was just a little pup, and I was with her every single day, every hour, basically every day, and it was very, very helpful for me. we've gotten over a lot of things. So.
Now, where did Maggie come from?
She came actually from Arkansas when we took Darren to drop him off at the treatment center. It was called it was a Christian treatment center in Arkansas, and we got her there. She came from a breeder. They work with breeders there, and so she came from a breeder that they breed, and it's strictly all labs. The program, you know, is all lab puppies. So, but that was one thing that when we asked him to go into treatment, we thought that. We mentioned that it came with a dog, and at the time he was so rebellious. I think the only reason that he picked, you know, this treatment center was because it came with a dog, and we had never had any animals before. This is our very first animal, and we just really never wanted any animals in the home because of the work and the hair and the everything else. And once we got to know her when he got back from the treatment center, we just fell in love with her, and now we regret never having one.
Yeah.
But
now, had you tried any other treatments, or was this the first?
No, this was the first one, and it's worked.
How perfect is that?
It worked. Yeah, it worked perfect. I mean, she's brought me and my family closer together probably since I was like, I don't know, a young teenager. We've been closer now than we ever have been, and I think that's mostly because of Maggie. We spend a lot of time walking her and time together. It gives us time to talk and grow as a family, and I think that's entirely because of her.
Yeah.
What other benefits do you think that you've gotten?
Well, I know I had a big benefit because I was kind of going through, obviously with a teenage boy that's having problems with addiction. I was really going through a real depressed time, and I had gained a lot of weight, and just had lost my self-esteem, and I just really lost my focus on life. I was really depressed, and when we got her, he came home. He had to go to, he went back to school, back to college, and he was working a lot, so I took over walking her, taking care of her, and I lost 30 pounds and got my life back on track, and she just made me a lot of happier person. I met a lot of new people, because when you're walking your dog, you meet a lot of new people, so I met a lot of new friends, and so she's helped me tremendously in that way as well. Got me back to being healthy.
And how did you see Darren change?
How have I seen Darren change?
Since Magpie. Is it Maggie
well,
Pie?
Maggie Pie. He has changed. He's a lot more caring and loving. He seems to be a lot more open with my husband and I. And I think that she's just made him a warmer person. Even though he's always been a sensitive guy, very sensitive, I think that it's given him a little bit more sense of responsibility, that he did all the training, which he did a fantastic job on because she's a wonderful dog. And I think it's just opened him up a little bit to give him a little bit more of an eye-opening. I don't know if it was just all Maggie, and it was a treatment obviously too, but I think the responsibility of just having a pet and knowing that you had to take care of them and train them was a big...
Let me ask one question. Darren, how do you do when you go back to campus without Maggie?
We do okay. I'm usually over the house about 2 to 3 times a week, so I do spend a lot of time with her. I do come and visit, and she's always excited to see me. But with me having my own condo, and I do have a son, and I'm starting my own family, and I don't have the backyard for her, my parents do, and she really enjoys that. So it's just kind of a better place for her to be at my parents', but I still try to spend a lot of time with her. So it's still really nice. I feel like she's next to me all the time.
That's so great. Well, Maggie's here on behalf of the Kaufman County Animal Awareness Project. So go to spayneuter.org or call 972-472-3500 for more information.
Next up, we'll meet Vaughn, all the way from College Station. Stay with us.
Our next contestant is Vaughn. When Vaughn was found, he had burns covering 60% of his body. He had been badly beaten and burned, and luckily for him, he was taken to the College of Veterinary Medicine and Biomedical Sciences at Texas A&M University.
And we've had them on before.
Absolutely. Chastity Rogers, who works there, saw Vaughn every day he was being treated and couldn't stand the idea of not seeing him again. So she adopted him. Chastity is here with more on Vaughn. Hi, Chastity.
Hi, how are
Hi,
you guys?
Chastity.
Good
Do
to
we
see
need
you
to
again.
offer you psychological help before we go on with this?
Maybe so. He doesn't need it, but I do.
What happened to Vaughn?
Well, he was, we believe, dumped in the country outside of the College Station area, and a Good Samaritan found him and what we believe to be his mother. She wasn't as extensively burned as him, but we think that he possibly was tried to be used in dogfighting. The ears were cut, and we can tell that they're sort of a homemade job. And a lot of times when they won't fight for them like they want them to, it's easier just to get rid of them than to keep them. So we think that he was intentionally set on fire. Yeah.
What's his prognosis?
He's perfectly healthy. I know he looks a little beat up, but this skin stays a little dry and it gets sunburned, and he plays like a boy and rolls around and gets scratches and scrapes, but he's absolutely healthy.
And he became very popular at the hospital, didn't he?
He did.
Is
He's
this why?
everyone's favorite. And like you said, I saw him every day because my office was raising funds for his care. The community really rallied around him, and I was absolutely just inspired by his will to love people after, what had happened to him.
How long did it take you before you were in love with him and wanted to adopt him?
About 2 hours. 2 hours away from him. That's about.
Aw.
I really missed the little guy, and honestly, everyone in the vet hospital, the doctors, the vet techs, the reporters, everybody really fell in love with him.
And you, did they ever find the people who did this?
They didn't, and we had a reward. There was reward money. We really felt like that there was going to be someone that would come and give us some kind of lead, but there was absolutely nothing, which is pretty common.
So you absolutely needed another small dog, didn't you? A small 90-pound pit bull.
I do have a rescue Great Dane that is his big brother, and they absolutely balance each other. Great Danes are really laid back and do not have strong wills at all. They're a little meek, actually, mannered. And this guy is a bulldozer, and they play very well together, and he bugs him when he wants to play, and Kitely wants to sleep, but they get along very well. He wants to be in your lap right now. That's what this is about.
Do you want to sit in my lap?
He
Do you want to
does.
sit in my lap? Do you want to sit up here?
Totally does. Oh.
Oh, yeah, that doesn't bother him at all.
Are you crazy? Now, and you said he had a lot of psychological testing in the hospital as well.
He did. We have a behaviorist on staff at the College Veterinary Medicine, Veterinary Medical Teaching Hospitals, and she worked with him extensively. He never showed aggression on food. He never showed aggression with other dogs, with cats. He goes to the dog park. He genuinely was just a really well-mannered, easygoing dog. Now, I think he's gotten a little spoiled, is what I think at my house. And he kind of knows he's a local celebrity. He's been on the morning show there, and people recognize him more than me in town.
Look at that. He's certainly got the face of a star.
Hey, movie
you.
star.
That's right.
Maybe we could get him. Maybe we could do a movie on him.
Well, you probably could. He's pretty well tame and everything, isn't he? Look at that. Oh, there's a good yawn. So, how has it affected you?
You know, I was actually personally going through some really hard times in my life, and I think that's why, I've worked with animals for years and years, and so I've seen a lot of really painful things. I know, Arthur, you know what I'm saying and all
I do.
the work that you've done. And, you want to take them all home, and which is almost impossible to do. Well, it is. And something about him just spoke to me that, if he could trust and love and overcome what he had been through, that, I could probably overcome just about anything too. So I think we bonded in that way. And how's it changed my life? I buy a lot more food, and he keeps me on my toes. He does. He's a sweetie.
Twinkle toes.
Twinkle toes. Yeah.
And he got along right away with the other dog?
He did. They actually, I think my dog was used to being an only dog, but he absolutely took to him pretty quickly, and they play very well together, very well together. So.
Chastity and Vaughn wouldn't be here today without the help of the College of Veterinary Medicine and Biomedical Sciences at Texas A&M. They're an amazing hospital. We should say they're an amazing 2 hospitals now. Yeah. You can go to vetmed.tamu.edu. What a mouthful. You want to repeat that?
Yes, vetmed.tamu.edu.
You did that well. Say it 3 times backwards and you've got the prize. And you've got the prize. To find out how you can help them, and they really could use the help to be able to serve more dogs like Vaughn and dogs that have tremendous special needs, cancer, motor
neurology,
disease, neurology, radiology.
Honestly, we're the only vet school in the state, and there's only 29 in the country. And we do have several specialists on staff that can deal with all sorts of problems, and the public is welcome to come and make appointments. I think not a lot of people think they can come there for that.
So if you have a dog that has a special need, you can make an appointment and
to go.
Could go down to Texas A&M and see what they can do for your dog. They are one of the 3 best veterinary schools in the country.
We're going to take another short break, and when we come back, Dickens is here with us.
Charles?
Maybe.
Welcome back to America's Best Tales. Our final contestant today is Dickens. Dickens is a dachshund. Dickens is a dachshund who has been through more than any animal should ever go through. He was repeatedly beaten and left outside with no protection from the heat or the cold. And he's also known as Charles Dickens, I understand. And he's written the tale of 2 tails and a
Dear Dickens.
8 paws.
He was found by an angel and adopted by Mary Beth Lyon. She's here along with Kathleen Coleman with the Dallas-Fort Worth Dachshund Rescue. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, Kathleen. Now this is a horrible animal
It is.
abuse story.
I had a
that we're about to
call
hear.
from a woman who often notifies us about dogs in need, and a friend of hers had been living in the neighborhood where this dog lived and was an older lady walking down the street and had seen him chained outside through the heat, through the cold, and then one day she went by and the guy was kicking him in the head. And the lady told my friend, I don't know what came over me. I just went in there and said, give me that dog. And so she snatched him up and took him to her vet, who said his jaw is broken. And a broken jaw is not something that happens without serious trauma. You don't get a broken jaw just from walking around or falling on the floor. So at that point, she didn't know what to do, and she called our friend Andre, who immediately called me, and she said, I have a really bad situation. Can you come right now? And I said, I'll be there. And so I got there and saw, you could see his mouth kind of hanging open, and his leg had been broken. And so I called our vet, and I said, I'm on the way right now with a really bad situation. And as it happened, the specialty surgeon was there that day. He usually came in once a week. And so they got him in there and they operated on him, and they also found he had heartworms. So in the process of this, they had to put what's a jaw stabilizer, which keeps the jaw in place, kind of stuck out from his face. And that took a lot of weeks of healing. And then he also went through heartworm treatment. And the leg, they decided not to reset because it had partially set, and the surgeon felt that re-breaking it would be more harm. So, I mean, it just probably is in the worst condition of, I think, any animal that came in. And you can see him. You can't imagine someone trying to harm a dog.
He's a little bitty dog. How is he able to eat with that?
Feed, that's what I worried about too.
Yeah.
But he had to eat very soft canned food, and what was interesting is we were feeding him 3 of those small sized dog cans a day, and he only weighed 6 pounds then. And I said to the vet, after a month I brought him in, he gained 4 ounces. I said, how could this be? He's eating all this food. And the vet said, You have to understand with an injury trauma level of that, it takes a lot of calories for the body to heal, like when somebody is burned. So we fed him soft food, and he pretty much continues eating soft stuff because the jaw is healed, but that's why the tongue sticks out.
Oh, see, I thought he was
Yeah,
just
the jaw.
extra
No, the
cuteness.
jaw is, you don't have the normal, it'll return to a certain amount, but it's hard to get it fixed totally. So,
Okay, and Mary Beth, when did you get involved?
Well, I was on the internet. My dog had just been killed by another dog, and so I was looking. I wanted a black and tan dapple dachshund, so I saw this one on the internet and just started getting kind of interested because I saw the fixator on his jaw, and then I saw his story, and I thought that I could make a difference in his life, and he would never hurt again if I could just get my hands on him. However, the information or the application was really hard to fill out because I live 50 miles away, and typically they don't adopt out to more than 50 miles away. But God blessed us with Dickens, and we enjoy him every day of his life, and he's a blessing to us.
How is he today?
He's 6. Yes.
And how does he do?
He
Can
does
he
very
eat?
well. He does eat. He plays ball. This is his pacifier. So he sleeps with his ball. He plays ball, and you would think that that would hurt his jaw, but I think it's very comforting to him to chew on it. He eats very well. He eats his soft food. I do have to crush. I do give him a little bit of hard food, but we have to crush it. But he's made a big difference in a lot of people's lives. So.
And he doesn't come across like he has really any type of anxiety or any evidence of that abuse
No,
that
and
he went through.
thanks to the great home.
Yeah, he has unconditional love for Mark and I. He loves us. We love him. We take him camping with us. We become very good friends with Kathleen and Dave. We camp with him. In fact, he thought we were going on a camping trip this morning. So.
Oh, really?
So he's real disappointed.
He's like,
I
"What's
understand he's a writer too.
He is.
He has an Ask Dickens column on our website. He's our advice dog.
How fun!
So we
So
put
what
in
kind of
people writing.
advice does he give?
Well, when people write in with concerns about dogs, or sometimes we'll take questions that we've had over the years and put them on there. We thought that if you could have Dear Abby, we could have Ask Dickens.
That's right.
You know, why not? And people remembered his story in the past 20 years, I think we've cared for 500 dachshunds, but out of all of the dachshunds over the years, this is a story that stuck with a lot of the people that support our program and that know about it, just because of what happened to him.
Great.
And do people contact you from all over about Dachshund?
We are mostly a local for because that's why it's DFW Dachshund Rescue. We do some outside of the area ones, but if people are, say, in Wisconsin, there are several nationally based groups, so we can make referrals to people who are in a different area that they may not have known about.
How many dogs do you place a year?
We place close to 50 every year.
Nice.
You know, and we're volunteers. You know, it's just people with their homes and things. We don't have any facility, so we're really pleased with that for what we do.
What's your annual budget?
Our annual budget, on the average cost to vet the dogs, it's about $600 it costs us, because we make sure every dog has, on average, dental cleaning, which is important for dachshunds, a good blood panel, all the basic care, shots, spay, neuter, or microchip. And then we do have dogs that, you know, have more involved
special
issues.
needs.
You know, we've had a number that come through with heartworm. We had one that was hit by a car this year, fractured pelvis.
Well, if you guys want to find out more about the organization that saved Dickens, go to Dallas-Fort Worth Dachshund Rescue website at dfwdachshund.petfinder.com.
And when we come back, we'll select today's winners. So don't go anywhere. And now for the moment of truth. We've heard truly 3 incredible dog stories today. And again, it's time to reveal our winner, but there is no first, second, and third place. There's only tremendous love and tremendous gifts from animals. So we're going to let the Oracle decide who he has.
Yes.
And it was very hard. And the third place goes to an organization that does a lot for dogs, $250. And the third place, it goes to?
We're going to give that to Vaughn with Chastity Rogers that was here from Texas A&M. So we'll make sure that Vaughn gets a cookie mailed to him and his ribbon.
And we
And a
would
check.
we would say that Texas A&M has been on a couple of times before and will continue to be on with us. And please do call them if you have a problem. Number 2 and $500 goes to our second place winner.
Who has to be this Dickens of a dog? Who I can't give you a cookie. I'm sorry, I almost did though.
And
right,
it's
for the
a
Dachshund Rescue.
fabulous story and wonderful and stiff competition today.
Very stiff competition too.
But first place to DFW Lab Rescue and to
Kaufman County.
and
Yes.
Kaufman County.
Yes.
And
to you, you sweetie.
And to you two for an incredible story of how dogs help humans and humans help dogs, because it is just miraculous what dogs are doing for me, for our vets coming home from Iraq and Afghanistan, and for people with all sorts of problems and that they want to help solve, and the dogs want to help solve them.
Well, and it's such a good connection on getting a good home for an animal and just a whole family unit. So anything we can do to help promote that and the use of more of that, we want to try.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Well, what do you think? Is our work done here?
I think today's been a unbelievably good show. I would remind everybody that every dollar that you donate to American Dog Rescue at americandogrescue.org between now and the 17th of December will be matched on stage that evening in New York, and you can certainly go there and see it if you want to go to the rescue event at hsus.org.
And we want to remind you that next week we'll be bringing back all of our past winners to pick a Best in Show for America's Best Tales, and that will be a $5,000 reward.
Bandit, you did it again.
You
You're
did it
spending
again.
the money.
Well, thanks for watching, and as usual, always follow us on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter.